Once upon a time, in a land filled with magic and wonder, there lived a beautiful dragon named Daisy. Now, Daisy wasn't your typical fearsome dragon. No, sir. She had wings that shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. Her scales sparkled like 1,000 stars, and her heart was as big as the sun. All the other dragons admired her for her kindness and her radiant wings. They wanted to be just like her. But one day, disaster struck. As Daisy was flying through the clouds, suddenly her wings began to fade. The vibrant colors that had made her so special started to disappear, leaving her with dull, lifeless wings. Poor Daisy was devastated. Without her colorful wings, she no longer felt like herself. And as if that wasn't bad enough, the other dragons started to make fun of her. They hissed and jeered, saying things like, "Look at Daisy, the washed-up dragon with the boring wings." It hurt Daisy's feelings so much that she spent all her time alone in her cave, refusing to come out. One day, an old and wise owl named Professor Sophocles hooted outside Daisy's cave. He had heard about Daisy's troubles, and he knew he had to help her. "Daisy, my dear," he said, his voice as soft as feathers. "I know how you're feeling. I once lost my feathers, and I understand how it can make you feel worthless and alone. But I'm here to tell you that you don't need your wings to be special. You are already amazing just the way you are." Daisy looked up at the owl, surprised by his kind words. "But Professor," she said, "my wings are what made me beautiful. They're what made me me. How can I be special without them?" The owl sat down next to Daisy and said, "Your wings are just a small part of what makes you who you are. Your kindness, your courage, and your big heart are what truly make you special. Don't let the mean dragons bring you down. You are amazing, and don't ever forget it." Daisy thought about the owl's words. Maybe she was focusing on the wrong thing. Maybe it wasn't her wings that made her special, but what was inside of her that truly mattered. Just then, an idea struck her like a bolt of lightning. She would go on an adventure to find her rainbow wings and prove to everyone that even without them, she could still be a hero. So Daisy took a deep breath, stood up and said to the owl, "Thank you for your advice, Professor. I think I know what I have to do." She flew out of her cave and into the sky, determined to find her missing wings. As she soared through the clouds, she met a little squirrel named Sammy who was struggling to carry a huge acorn. "Can you help me, please?" Sammy asked. "It's too heavy." Daisy didn't hesitate. She swooped down and gently picked up the acorn with her teeth. Then she asked, "Where are you off to in such a hurry?" "I'm taking this acorn to my grandmother. She's sick and I need to get her some medicine from the whispering willow tree," Sammy replied. "But it's so heavy, I can barely carry it." Daisy smiled. "Don't worry, Sammy. I'll help you." And together they set off toward the whispering willow tree. Along the way, he encountered a family of field mice who were trapped in a farmer's net. Without thinking twice, Daisy used her sharp claws to rip the net to shreds, freeing the little mice. "Oh, thank you, kind dragon," squeaked the mother mouse. "You saved us from certain doom." One of the baby mice, who was a little bit braver than the others, approached Daisy and asked, "Why are you helping us?" "My brother told me that dragons are supposed to be scary and mean." Daisy bent down and said, "That may be true for some dragons, but not for me. Helping others makes me happy, and it doesn't matter if I don't have my rainbow wings." The little mouse nodded, still a bit nervous, but also very grateful. At last, Daisy and Sammy reached the whispering willow tree. It was old and gnarled, and its branches hung down like gray beards. According to legend, the tree had magical healing powers. But to get to the tree, they had to cross a raging river. "Oh, no!" cried Sammy. "How are we ever going to get across that river? It's too fast and too strong. We'll be swept away in an instant." But Daisy wasn't afraid. She took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and jumped into the water. She couldn't see where she was going, but she trusted that she would be okay. And she was right. Just as she hit the water, she saw a patch of dry land nearby and she landed safely on it. Sammy and the acorn went flying through the air, but Daisy quickly scooped them up before they got wet. Then they continued their journey until they finally reached the sick-field mouse's house. Daisy left Sammy to deliver the acorn while she waited nearby. When they heard the sound of happy squeaks coming from inside the house, Daisy knew that the field mouse was going to be okay. She felt a warm glow inside. Helping others really did make her happy. As the sun began to set, Daisy and Sammy flew back home together. Along the way, they made many new friends, including a wise old turtle, a family of rabbits, and a cheerful bluebird. All these animals had been struggling with problems of their own, but Daisy helped each and every one of them. And as she did, she realized that helping others made her feel better about losing her wings. She discovered that being a good friend and lending a helping hand were what truly made her special. When Daisy finally returned home that evening, she was greeted by a crowd of animals. They had all heard about her adventures and wanted to thank her in person. The wise old turtle, whose name was Sheldon, spoke up. "Daisy," he said, "you have shown us that it's not our physical appearance or possessions that make us special. It's our kindness and willingness to help others that truly matter. You may not have your rainbow wings, but you are still a hero to all of us." Daisy felt tears welling up in her eyes. She had never realized that helping others could make her feel so good. She had been so focused on getting her wings back that she had forgotten what was really important. Just then, something magical happened. As all the animals cheered for Daisy, their admiration and love for her filled the air. And as she stood there listening to their cheers, suddenly her wings began to glow. At first it was just a faint glimmer, but then the colors started to come back. Her wings were healing, becoming more beautiful than they had ever been before. The next morning, Daisy woke up feeling like a brand new dragon. Her wings were shimmering with all the colors of the rainbow, and she felt more confident and happier than ever before. She took off into the sky, soaring higher and faster than she had ever flown before. The other dragons saw her and gasped in awe. They had never seen wings so bright and beautiful. From that day on, Daisy became known throughout the land as the most kind-hearted dragon ever. And even though she had her rainbow wings now, she knew that it wasn't what made her special. It was her willingness to help others, her courage, her compassion, and her big heart. Because true beauty, she learned, comes from the inside out. And so, young viewers, as you journey through your own life, remember that it's not the things you own or the way you look that truly matters. It's the kindness you share, the love you give, and the courage you find within yourself. For those are the things that make you truly special and beautiful, just the way you are. Now before we go, I have a question for you. What do you think Daisy learned from her adventure? Do you think it's important to help others, even if you're struggling yourself? Leave your answer in the comments below. And don't forget to stay tuned for more amazing stories. Until next time, fly high, soar high, and always remember, you are all the colors of the rainbow.